Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling the single biggest challenge, the absolute ultimate tug-of-war in all of modern system design. If you've ever wondered how massive tech giants keep their platforms running flawlessly when millions of users are clicking, swiping, and buying at the exact same millisecond, well, you're in the right place. We're diving deep into the CAP Theorem and those high-stakes trade-offs engineers are forced to make between data consistency and system availability. Let's just jump right in.
Picture this dramatic, real-world scenario. You open your banking app, right? You urgently send 10,000 rupees to a friend. Screen loads, and the money leaves your account instantly. Your balance drops. But your friend? They get absolutely nothing. Zero. Now, put yourself in the shoes of a system architect. You're staring an impossible dilemma right in the face. Should your system literally stop absolutely everything, locking users out completely just to ensure correctness? Or should the app keep running, keep the doors open, and allow this temporary, honestly terrifying inconsistency?
So that brings us to the distributed systems dilemma, specifically scaling beyond a single server.
Think about modern applications for a second. WhatsApp, Amazon, Netflix, Instagram. They serve millions, sometimes billions of users globally. Now, it's a physical impossibility for these apps to run on just a single server. A single machine simply cannot handle that massive traffic, nor can it provide the fault tolerance required. So what do? They distribute their applications across multiple servers and sprawling data centers worldwide. But by solving the problem of scale, we introduce a massive new headache. The million-dollar question is, how can all these different servers, sitting thousands of miles apart, maintain the exact same data while remaining available when things inevitably break? Because, let's face it, hardware fails, cables get cut, things break.
Okay, let's dive into this by defining the three pillars. Basically, the rules of the game. To understand how systems actually survive these failures, we absolutely need to grasp three fundamental concepts. Pillar number one is consistency. And just to be clear, we're talking about strong consistency here. This means that every single user sees the exact same latest data at the exact same time, totally regardless of which server on the planet they happen to connect to. Going back to our bank transfer example, after you send that money, every ATM, every mobile app, and every backend service must immediately reflect that updated balance. If one server says you have 50,000 rupees and another says you have 60,000, the entire system becomes unreliable. In finance, incorrect data isn't just an annoyance, it's incredibly dangerous.
Moving on to pillar number two. Availability. This simply means the system continues to respond to requests even when some of its servers literally catch fire and fail. Imagine if one of Instagram's massive servers crashes. As a user, you don't care about their server room issues, do you? You still expect to be able to scroll your feed, like photos, and upload videos using their other operational servers. A highly available system ensures that users rarely, if ever, experience downtime. They prioritize keeping the lights on no matter what.
And that brings us to pillar number three, partition tolerance. Look, in a distributed system, servers have to talk to each other to share data, right? And they do this over networks. But here's the harsh reality of the internet. Networks are entirely unreliable. Connections fail, digital packets get lost in transit, entire regions can just go dark. Partition tolerance means the system must continue to operate despite these completely unavoidable communication breaks between servers.
Which perfectly sets up the network partition threat. What happens when connections break?
You really have to frame network partitions as an unstoppable force. It's not a matter of if a connection between your servers will break, but when. It's an unavoidable reality of operating on the internet at a massive scale. Let's walk through it. Step one. You've got servers in India and servers in the US communicating beautifully, syncing data back and forth. Step two. Boom, a sudden network issue, maybe a damaged undersea cable, completely severs the connection. Step three. We now have a network partition. Both regions are powered on. They are running independently, but they are completely cut off from each other. They cannot sync. Modern systems have to be explicitly designed to tolerate these sudden, drastic disconnects.
And this, right here, brings us to the legendary CAP Theorem. The theorem states that a distributed system can guarantee only two out of those three properties simultaneously: consistency, availability, or partition tolerance. You get a triangle, but you can only pick two corners. But here is the catch, and this is absolutely vital to understand. Since network partitions are basically inevitable in the real world, partition tolerance is effectively mandatory. You cannot opt out of the physical reality of broken cables. Therefore, when a network failure inevitably happens, you are forced to make a very, very difficult choice between the remaining two. So let's talk about choosing sides, CP versus AP, the impossible trade-off.
This is the ultimate, impossible choice every senior systems design engineer has to make when anticipating a network failure. Do you choose data correctness or do you choose maximum uptime? Let's look on the left. CP systems. They prioritize consistency and partition tolerance. They guarantee data correctness, even if it literally means pulling the plug and showing an error message to prevent double spending during a glitch. They prioritize being right over being online. On the right, AP systems. They prioritize availability and partition tolerance. They guarantee uptime. They are perfectly fine letting Instagram show you 100 likes on a photo while your friend sees 102 likes for a few seconds. The system stays up, the user experience is smooth, and they just worry about syncing the data later.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the theory translates directly into the actual database technologies you might use. If your priority is absolute correctness, you're looking at CP systems like HBase, Zookeeper, etcd, or MongoDB configured for strong consistency. But if your absolute priority is uptime and keeping the app running no matter what, you're going to reach for AP systems like Cassandra, DynamoDB, CouchDB, or even the DNS system itself. Seriously, if you're preparing for a system design interview, burn this distinction into your memory.
But wait, is it really that black and white? Let's explore Eventual Consistency Unlocked, the real-world compromise.
Now you might be wondering, isn't there some sort of middle ground? Well, yes, look at this timeline. At 0 seconds, a creator uploads a brand new YouTube thumbnail. At 1 second, a network partition means some users in Asia see the new thumbnail instantly, but users in Europe are still seeing the old one. The system is highly available, but yeah, slightly inconsistent. But jump to a few minutes later, background replication completes. All servers converge. They weren't perfectly in sync instantly, but they eventually became consistent. It's a clever trick, and it massively improves scalability.
Let's see this in action with real-world architecture choices. Here is how FAANG companies actually decide.
It is absolutely fascinating to see how tech giants apply these trade-offs to multi-billion-dollar businesses. Looking at this breakdown, the priorities are crystal clear. Banking systems, they demand strict consistency. Incorrect transactions are fundamentally unacceptable. Netflix, high availability. You want your movie to keep streaming uninterrupted. You honestly don't care if your personalized recommendations take an extra hour to update. WhatsApp also prioritizes availability, ensuring you can hit send on a message even during a network hiccup, syncing it up when the connection returns. But look at Amazon. This is brilliant. They actually mix approaches. They use AP, prioritizing availability for your shopping cart, so you can always add items without friction. But the exact second you hit checkout, boom, they switch to strict CP consistency for the payment processing. It's the best of both worlds.
Which brings us to this definitive quote: there is no perfect distributed system. Every architecture involves trade-offs depending on business requirements, user expectations, and operational constraints. This is the core lesson you need to take away from this explainer today. You simply cannot optimize everything simultaneously. You have to look at your business, look at your users, and make the hard choice about what truly matters most.
So, I'm going to leave you with this. Imagine you are the lead architect for the next massive global application. The network cables just got cut, the servers are split. Tell me, which trade-off would you choose? Are you locking down the system for flawless correctness, or are you keeping the doors open for maximum uptime? Think like a system design engineer. Until next time, keep exploring the architecture behind the apps we use every single day.